Meet Kimberly Kessler. The people in Kimberly's life described her as a vicious and toxic person. An ex-boyfriend of hers, Tim Barnes, claimed that she killed his cat with a shotgun, stabbed him in the chest, and bit his dad in the leg. It was clear that Kimberly had mental health issues, but didn't have much support or understanding of it. So when she disappeared on July 4, 2004, from her home of Butler County, Pennsylvania, although sudden and considered suspicious, her family believed she had run away of her own free will and did not file a missing persons report until 8 years later, in 2012, when they still had not heard from her. After a brief investigation from the local police, they confirmed to her family that she had left on her own volition and did not want to be found. They came to this conclusion after speaking with one of Kimberly's old neighbors who had received a call from her looking for help as she was in a Florida jail after she had supposedly gone missing. They left the investigation there. That was until another woman was reported missing. On May 13, 2018, Joleen Cummings did not arrive to pick up her children from her ex-husband. This was worrying as it was Mother's Day and Joleen's birthday. She was reported missing on the 14th, and police found that the last sighting of her was actually on the 12th at around 5 p.m. when she was leaving her place of work, Tangle's Hair Salon in Florida. Local police began their search and arrived at the Tangle's Hair Salon at around 10 a.m. on May 15th. They spoke to Joleen's colleagues about her lifestyle and behaviours to try and determine what may have happened. As they approached the manager of the salon, they noticed he was already on the phone with another stylist who worked there, and worked alongside Joleen the last day she was seen. Jennifer Seibert was pulling up in the car park in her black Kia Soul when the manager indicated the police wanted to speak with her. She backed out of the car park and sped off. She then texted her manager and told them that she was leaving town. Jennifer then contacts the police station directly and informs them that she does not want to take part in the investigation, as she is hiding from a crazy ex-boyfriend who has amazing computer skills. She stated that if her name was put into the system because of this investigation, then he would be able to access it and find out where she is. The following day, on May 16, 2018, Joleen's car was found abandoned in a Home Depot car park. After looking through CCTV footage, they found that Joleen's vehicle was abandoned at 1:17 a.m., 8 hours after Joleen was last seen at her place of work. The person who exited the vehicle was dressed in all black. Police decided to investigate nearby gas station footage, and they found the same person purchasing a drink. They used a credit card. The name on the credit card was Jennifer Seibert. Police tried locating Jennifer. They found that the address the salon had registered for her didn't actually exist. They eventually found Jennifer living in her black Kia Soul at a rest area on the evening of the 16th, the same day they located Joleen Cummings' vehicle. Jennifer Seibert had been living in her car in various locations. She was arrested for grand theft auto and held on a $500,000 bond. When taking her fingerprints, they found that Jennifer Seibert was not who she said she was. She was, in fact, missing woman Kimberly Kessler. When arrested, Kimberly had plasters on her face. When police requested that she remove them, they found her wounds to be consistent with scratch marks and defensive wounds such as bruises. When asked where she got these injuries from, she said that when she was riding her bicycle, she accidentally got hit in the face by a tree branch, and the bruises were bedbug bites. When police questioned her more about the supposed bites, stating that bites don't come up as bruises, Kimberly said, "They do on me, I don't know, whatever."
What name do you want me to call you? Because I was talking to the detective that drove you up, and he said I might have been calling you by the wrong name.
It's funny that St. John's didn't tell you. When you run my fingerprints through, they come up as Kimberly Lee Kessler. That's about it. So I would prefer to be called Kim.
Okay.
But
I just want to make sure that I'm calling you by your right name.
But if you run them through, I mean, the last time I got picked up was back in 1999, and I bonded out, and it took them, I don't remember, it was a couple weeks, I don't know if it was 2.5 weeks or 3.5 weeks before they actually matched them
Matched
up.
them up?
Yeah, it didn't but that was 1999, so maybe it was a little bit slower then.
Okay.
But I don't know, there's lots of people on the face of the planet, so maybe it still takes time. I'm not sure.
And it may be too that since you've had this alias for so long, you've probably done a lot of stuff since that time, and so you've actually kind of got you've got a history under that name, so it probably shows up in different databases and stuff like that. And that's just a guess, and maybe that's why it's happening like that.
Oh no, fingerprints are fingerprints.
Fingerprints are fair, and I agree. but I have.
I didn't erase them with acid, so they are the same. Just saying.
And I agree with you, but I haven't run your fingerprints. And if St. John's did, they failed to notify us that of the different names. So I apologize for that.
Perhaps they just thought I was a nut job, so they just ignored me. But it will eventually come up. So
we'll just call you Kim.
Okay, thanks.
If you're good with Kim, can you just go through when you work with her on that Saturday, so I can? Is there anything you can tell me that? Did she ever talk to you about a boyfriend? I know she's got a husband. I know she had a boyfriend. Did she ever talk about anybody she was scared of? Did she ever say anything that she wanted to run away and get away from it all? I mean,
I don't remember hearing anything. She would have different conversations sometimes with different clients. She was saying CPS came to her house. She was telling one client that I caught a little blip of it in between listening to YouTube and the phone ringing, and I remember hearing her say she thought her ex-husband or her husband was doing to get out of paying child support. That's all I heard, and I don't remember ever hearing about a boyfriend ever. But then again, I don't always really pay attention.
Did she tell you who she was hanging around with, or was she into anything that maybe she shouldn't have been into?
She would just say to me, the time or two that she'd say, I'm just going home and having a quiet night at home, or I don't have the kids tonight, or whatever, I'm just going to enjoy this. And I'd be like, you're young, why don't you go out? She's like, no, I don't need a man in my life. But here she had a boyfriend. I didn't even know that.
Was she involved in any bad habits or anything that could get her in trouble?
I can't say that she did, but I did find a bag that I believe had crystal meth in it, just a little bit in the bottom, a tiny baggie back by the back door.
Did you guys ever hang out after work? Did you ever go anywhere together? Okay. Is she ever allowed to use your car? You're allowed to use her car? Did you ever go anywhere together like that?
No.
Okay.
But you asked me all that before and answered before. So.
Okay.
That's all right.
There's video of you dropping her car off at the Home Depot parking lot there in Yulee and walking across and going into the gate station and getting a taxi cab back down to, they had it listed as Dick Swain's, but it was back down there to where Tangles is, okay? And that's why you're charged with a grand theft auto. And I'm not trying to trick you, I'm not trying to fool you. You're opening up to me and I'm opening up to you, okay? Mm-hmm. That's the reason you're charged with that. You're not charged with anything else, okay? But something happened to Joleen, and we actually sent our crime scene unit out to process Tangles, and there was some evidence there, okay? We have also, and I don't want you to think I've been fooling you. I just want to talk to you and get to know you a little bit, because I think something something that you didn't plan happened. But let me tell you what we did, okay? Because I just want to be honest with you, because I think something bad happened that you didn't intend to happen. But we have, taken a look at your car, and we went out and went to your storage unit on the island. And we did that all on a legal basis. We had search warrants for them all, okay? We've got the video of you when you go in and buy the bottle of water, you bought it on your credit card. You paid for the cab on your credit card. You used the clerk's phone to make the phone call to the cab company. We also have recovered your shoes that has Joleen's blood on your shoes. So I just want you to, if something happened that you didn't intend to happen, I want to talk to you about it. I don't think you're an evil person. I don't think you're a mean person. I think you have done one hell of a job getting through the last 25 years.
So let me reply this way, and you may not like the answer. I would like legal counsel.
Whilst in prison, Kimberly went on multiple hunger strikes to try and get moved from the jail she was being held in. Her first one was successful after not eating for 7 days. Whilst behind bars, police built up a solid case against Kimberly Kessler. They found Joleen Cummings' blood in the hair salon, on a pair of scissors in Kimberly's car, in Kimberly's storage unit, and they also found Joleen's fingernail in a blue bin inside the unit. They discovered multiple wigs, 3 mobile phones, and 2 cut ponytails. They discovered that throughout the time Kimberly had been missing, she had used 17 different aliases in 33 different cities, all of which she would use to scam and hurt people before moving on to a new area as a completely different person. Police found that Kimberly had searched Joleen's name over 400 times on Google. She also searched on Pinterest, how to preserve a human body, how to dissect a human body, and plastination. Plastination is a technique for the preservation of animal and human tissue, by which body fluids and fat are replaced with synthetic materials such as silicone resins or epoxy polymers. Footage was also found of Kimberly Kessler purchasing a large carving knife, zip ties, and bin bags at a self-checkout. Not long after this purchase, they found more footage of Kimberly tossing 2 bags into a commercial dumpster. They noticed that she seemed to be struggling to lift the bags, and police concluded that Kimberly used the carving knife to dissect Joleen's body and dispose of it in the bin. However, Joleen's body was never found. On July 2nd, 2019, after her second hunger strike that had lasted 56 days, Kimberly Kessler attended a competency hearing to determine whether she was fit to stand trial and was able to understand the charges that were put against her. The judge found that she was not competent to stand trial. She was sent to a psychiatric hospital for treatment, where staff found that she completely understood her charges and was in fact competent enough to stand trial. A little less than a year later, she attended another competency hearing where the same judge changed his ruling and found that she could understand the charges put against her and could stand trial.
And Kent, Kessler did not cooperate with anyone today. Within the first few minutes of her own hearing, she yelled expletives at the judge and her attorneys. Then deputies say she stripped naked and smeared feces around her cell. Another bizarre turn of events. A belligerent Kimberly Kessler appeared on a Zoom court hearing from the Nassau County Jail this morning wearing a suicide prevention vest, cursing out the judge and her own lawyers. Shortly after, she got up and left. Corrections deputies put her in an observation cell and then reported this.
She is completely undressed and has feces smeared on the window.
Judge James Daniel held a competency hearing for her today with prosecutors, defense attorneys, and mental health experts on the line. Kessler has been ruled competent to stand trial after a stint at Florida State Hospital.
On December 9th, 2021, Kimberly Kessler was found guilty of the first-degree murder of Joleen Cummings and grand theft auto of Joleen's vehicle. For most of the trial, Kimberly appeared via a video link, as for the few times she did appear in person, she would have disruptive outbursts.
Chair, if I have to remain here much longer.
We may want to put her on mute while we finish this, Judge.
It's fine.
Let's just put me back on myself.
Ma'am, come back up.
I want to get rid of the public defender's office. Yeah, exactly. Jordan Beard is Johnson's nephew. Jordan Beard is Joleen's cousin.
Jordan Beard is Johnson's nephew. Jordan Beard is Joleen Cummings' cousin.
Jordan Beard is Joleen's cousin. Joleen's cousin. Jordan Beard is Joleen's cousin. Jordan Beard is Joleen Cummings' cousin. Jordan Beard is Joleen's cousin. And I refuse this assigned counsel. I refuse the public defender's office. I refuse them. I have refused them. I refuse the public defender's office. They appointed Jordan Beard, Joleen Cummings' cousin, as my public defender.
Are you ready to begin today?
No.
Okay, Ms. Kessler, today appears that today will be the last day that the state will be presenting evidence, and the defense will then be afforded the opportunity to present evidence today. So I wanted to make sure you were aware of that. I wanted to stay here in court and serve your right. I wanted you to be able to do that.
Sure, I can sit up here and I'm going to say what I want, when I want, how I want, which you silenced me for years. You have silenced me for years. So let everyone know this is just the tip of the iceberg. Jordan Beard, public defender, is Joleen Cummings' cousin, along with his brother Josh. Yeah, you swept it under the rug for 3.5 years, along with her father, her stepdad, who runs the jail, who recently retired. He still comes in.
During her trial, it was found that Kimberly Kessler had been running from the FBI for close to 25 years, as she was wanted in several states. She now is serving a mandatory life sentence.